what I'm going to talk about today, something that changed my life 2 years ago, came and was born out of a very, very similar thought, uh, actually randomly in the middle of the night. And White Print, which I started back in 2013, happens to be India's first lifestyle magazine in Braille. And this came about when I was just sitting back thinking to myself, let me tell you, I had no connection with the visually impaired community before that. It was just a thought about what they read in their leisure time. And for the first time, I didn't have an answer. For the first time, when I Googled something, I didn't have an answer. I picked up the phone, spoke to a very group of close friends of mine, and they didn't have an answer to all this at midnight. I visited the very next day because I was so curious. I visited the National Association for the Blind in Mumbai. And they too told me that there was actually no magazine or newspaper that was being printed in Braille. There were newsletters, of course, that NAB themselves print and distribute, but no magazine or newspaper on a regular basis. I was so convinced, I started talking to a lot of visually impaired people, thanks to NAB, trying to understand their world, trying to understand if they actually need something like this. And within 3 months, I was so convinced that I quit my job. And let me tell you, it had just been 1 year that I had started working. Before that, I was a student. And it took a lot of courage because I was just starting off with my career and I wasn't really, I didn't have a benchmark to follow. So a lot of people think this is, on the negative side of the story, but for me it works brilliantly because I don't have to follow anybody. I can make my own rules. And that's what has helped me develop White Print. And May 2013, we started our first issue. It is a 64-pager monthly, printed only in English currently, circulated across the country from the smallest villages and towns. And in terms of content, we are no different than any other lifestyle magazine. So if you read about fashion, Bollywood, you read about short stories or music, we have it all. We have a very, very special tie-up. We don't follow the generic term of a lifestyle magazine. We also include politics because a lot of my readers tell me that, we want to read about everything. And my oldest reader, who's 80 years old, actually told me once that don't deprive us of the things that we might not see in our lives. So even if it's something about fashion, we'd love to read it because we'd love to know more and more about things, because there are so many people who actually call White Print, and it really makes me feel nice. They call it their window to the world because they don't have, we take it for granted that everybody today has a smartphone, has a laptop. But I know so many of my readers right here in the city who don't have access to a laptop. They don't have access to any of that. So that is the reality. Of course, it took me 8 months to just get a title for the magazine because I wasn't following, I wasn't paying people, I was actually going to the court myself, getting, a stamp paper, doing things by myself because A, I didn't come from a very affluent background that would invest tons of money into this, and B, a learning that I had in my journey was the community was too tired of being sympathized with, because today, the moment we see a person with any kind of a challenge, we start sympathizing, but that's not what they want. They want to be empathized with. So here I was dealing with a perception change. I know it's going to take a very, very long time, but it's something that I consciously follow, and keeping that in mind, we decided to not make this a charity venture. So I run this absolutely like just another lifestyle magazine or any other magazine for that matter. It works on ad revenue. Here comes, another big challenge, because I knew for a fact that people would be apprehensive. People would not be sure of, doing something in Braille, which had not been done earlier in the country. So what I did was I started writing emails, like as random as it could get, to marketing heads, started making cold calls, of course nothing getting translated. So I decided to write to the CEOs. A lot of people thought I was mad, but it actually worked for me. we happened to get our first ad in the inaugural issue of the magazine by the Raymond Group, and they actually gave us a 5-page advertorial on their spring-summer collection. That was my first ad. Then came in the Tatas. I got an ad by the Tata Group because of an email that I wrote to Ratan Tata. I then went on to Coca-Cola, and I wrote to the media head of Coca-Cola, and I have yet not met her in my life, but she gave me a very interesting ad. They actually made a musical ad. So as soon as our reader would turn to the center spread of the magazine, the song Umeedon Wali Dhoop, Sunshine Wali Asha would start playing. And believe me, I mean, it brought so much happiness. We might just flip ads, but when I was putting this together at NAB, people were going crazy. And the next time I go, my readers actually start singing the song to me because A, they didn't know that this was the song for Coca-Cola, but for all of us, we would hear it and we'd know this is Coca-Cola. But that's how much important that one ad meant to them. And that for Coke as well was a very different learning, and it made a lot of difference. Of course, it's been very, very slow. We had Aircel coming in, we had Vodafone, doing short-term contracts with us, but making interesting concepts in terms of advertising, and it opened a whole new world for them as well. And Coca-Cola actually ended up winning a lot of awards for the ad that they created for the magazine. So I was, just thinking about how one simple magazine that, the newspaper that comes to a house, we read it, it's out there and it's done. But here was a magazine that was actually making so much of a difference that one of my readers told me one day that, usually when I'm sitting on a dinner table, people are having conversations in my family. They're talking about, okay, this is happening here, that's happening there. And I'm just a quiet listener because I don't have access to all of that information. But she tells me now that she's able to give them information that they've never heard of. And that makes her feel really empowered. And I didn't know that, just by putting together content and writing fresh stories, going out and interviewing people is actually making so much difference in the lives of the people who are reading it. And as so much excitement, I mean, even if my magazine reaches a day later, I have calls, telling me, okay, when is it coming? I remember this girl who actually told me when I sent her the first issue, she finished reading the magazine, all the 64 pages in one day, and then she already calls me saying, oh, can you please send me the next issue? So that was the kind of excitement, in June 2013, we had 20 subscribers. Now we have around 350 subscribers to the magazine, and it's so interesting about how patients love reading it when they are at hospital. There's a hospital in Hyderabad that regularly subscribes to the magazine. So I think, though, yes, we are talking about so much of the digital world, and I absolutely agree that it's making so much of a difference in all our lives, including the visually impaired. Helps them navigate better, helps them, make their lives much more better, much more comfortable. But I also think, we can't underestimate the power of a print publication. We're all going back to reading our favorite books, holding that book in the hand. And I mean, that experience is completely different, And something that stayed with me was one of the calls, like my proofreader is visually impaired herself, and she called me one day saying that, your travel article has a typo. I said, what happened? And she's like, there's a word called selfie. I said, Smita, that is the right word. It's something that is newly emerged and everybody's just doing that. And she laughs it off and, moves ahead. Next time when I go and meet her, she actually shows me her phone with selfies at different locations, and she tells me, if you can do it, I can do it too. And that has meant so much to me that absolutely, let's not underestimate what each one of us is. I also believe a lot in the power of music. It has been a very important part of my life, and taking this part of my life, including to something that has actually changed my life. We created a small music film. It's a 5-minute film that I think will convey a lot of things that I have been trying to in the previous 5 minutes. So I think we can play the.
देखूं तो है क्या ये रंग है क्या नया, देखूं तो है क्या ये रंग है क्या नया, उंगलियों से पूछूं पहचान कर बयां, उंगलियों से पूछूं पहचान कर बयां, क्या कान सुन रहे हैं, क्या बोल बुन रहे हैं, अंधेरों से फिर से हम कुछ नूर चुन रहे, नूर चुन रहे हैं। मुझे भी है करनी लफ्जों से यारी, मैं भी अक्षरों को यार बना लूं, मैं भी अक्षरों को यार बना लूं, कलम नहीं है ना सही साथ मेरा दो तो, कलम नहीं है ना सही साथ मेरा।
ये किताब है, पापा से कहना पढ़कर सुनाएंगे।
फिर से बना लूं रिश्ता उंगलियों से, फिर से बना लूं। जो सुनकर है जाने हर किस्म की कहानी, दिल कहता पढ़ लूं शब्दों की जुबानी।
अब दूर हो, अब दूर हो खिलौने जिद सारे आधे पौने ख्वाहिश यही है कि पाऊं पन्नों के मैं बिछोने।
मुझे भी है करनी लफ्जों से यारी, मुझे भी है करनी लफ्जों से यारी, मैं भी अक्षरों को यार बना लूं, मैं भी अक्षरों को यार बना लूं।
मुझे जानना चाहिए।
हर शाम कह रही है, किस्सों में बह रही है, कौतूहल के मेरे वो सवाल सह रही है, सह रही है।
कर खत्म ये गिला दो, सपनों को खिला दो, मेरी कहानी से फिर से मिला दो।
कलम नहीं है ना सही साथ मेरा दो तो बना